Welcome to DevCast number 12. My name is Bardaki. We are still looking at the Unwanted War. This week there has been loads of progress, even a lot of visible progress, so there's lots to show off. Gonna start in the settings menu. That got quite the overhaul. Mind you, this is currently running in the editor, so you cannot actually see this, but you can now change the active display that it's going to be displayed on in full screen mode, mind you, to switch it around. All the other quality settings and video settings have still been refined a bit, but not too much. I've already had those fixed last week. And for the rest of the changes, we're going to go into the beautiful exhibition scene, where you can inspect all of the different beautiful units that are in the game. Some of these informations still need a bit of tweaking, but these units will show their attack animations. And attack animations, there are lots of. We're gonna start in the contemporary era and with the military. So there have been some units that got a bit of tweaking. Some clearly need a bit more tweaking, but their animation riggings are now looking much nicer. These have been mostly overhauled. I'm not done yet. This is still work in progress, but it is taking shape. In the Second World War, flamethrowers have gotten an update. The beautiful medic with a Luger has gotten an update. Again, these still need names and descriptions, but many of these have just gotten a good upgrade. And in the Second World War, we've also looked at the Americans. So these guys got a tweak to that. As you can tell, these now have more or less good-looking hand placements. Again, it's not about every tiny detail in the game. It's just that looks about right. And in the First World War era, now the let's take this one. Yeah, so like this is an MG08, relatively heavy machine gun, but for gameplay purposes, it's going to be shoulder fired. Not highly accurate, but you wouldn't expect that, would you? Yeah, some of these units have gotten some better descriptions. Some, like the sharpshooter, even have actual scopes on their weapons, so even that little bit of detail is existing. In the First World War, we've also got the British, so yeah, Lewis machine gun, again, shoulder fired. Gameplay purposes. I do not deal with crouching or prone units. That's not really the scope of the game. Yeah, that's just, it makes things honestly a lot easier for me, and gameplay wise should still remain relatively balanced. Some of these units still have just melee animations, and if we go back through time, as you can tell, some of these units just get where's the one? There's the one. Yeah, some of these units just have different animations now. The gunslinger, good old bandit. I'm looking for, there we go. No, not the gold miner. I'm looking for the tracker. There we go. That's a double barrel unit, so not my recoil because it's a double barrel shotgun. Say that 10 times fast. And in the Napoleonic era, the Emperor of France, we have already looked at these guys. We've got their fancy hats, and sometimes even fancier hats. And now also the British Empire has gotten new hats. These are much more resembling of actual hats that these units would have had back then. Also slight visual differences. For example, the standard grenadier doesn't have the emblem at front, or signet, or whatever it is actually called. Some of these don't have the plume. You know, chosen men usually were highly specialized soldiers, and the red plume might give you away in the foliage. Who knows? Same as the light infantry, these are just standard units, run-of-the-mill units. The cavalry is getting an overhaul, and this is clearly not an M1917. This is placeholder graphics still. And in the Middle Ages, these units also, the archers are a bit specific. Some of the holster positions are clearly wrong. Again, that's just minor tweaks, but most of these have gotten their animations updated and weapons assigned. And in here we also have the French. These have gotten a bit of love, as you can tell. Not overly much. They still need tweaking, but most of these units should be differentiatable. In the Nordic era, the Danes are mostly the focus at the moment. So these guys got some of their weapons. I'm looking for... There you go. The Thegn also got a spear. Again, clearly wrongly holstered weapon, but that is a tweak I just need to go through with. I'm doing those in bulk with a lot of the units. And again, in ancient times, we're looking at mostly the Romans and all their shenanigans. Speaking of shenanigans, yes, this is recorded live on Twitch. So I do a lot of streams there in terms of game updates. A lot of game development happens there live. Yeah, most of these units now have some resemblance. Again, the archers are their own specific niche. They need a bit of tweaking still. But yeah, this mostly is the progress for this week. So a lot of just standard upgrades to units, loads of, again, my favorite is still the British Empire, not the pirates. I wanted to go, there we go. These guys just got new beautiful hats, and I like it. Yeah. And on that note, that is pretty much all the update I have for you this week. And that concludes DevCast number 12. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.